Hello, my name's Mymic, and here is a tutorial on how to properly execute a double ref build in Openra. So the advantage of a double ref build is that it gives you a lot of early game infantry, which will let you contest neutral objectives like these old Erics here. It also gives you 3 refineries early on, so on maps like Jungle Law here, it's perfect because we can start mining from these 3 patches. So when the barracks is dropped, we can immediately build $2,300 worth of infantry. Usually on this map I'd go for 18 rifles and an engineer, but seeing as this is just a tutorial, I don't want the extra money from the oil. So 2 key skills that I don't see people doing enough in Openra is properly base walking. You want your refineries as close as physically possible to the ore to increase your income. Also you want to be deploying buildings with hotkeys rather than clicking and then clicking again. This will speed up your gameplay. So after the first refinery is dropped, you want to then queue up a war factory and another refinery. It also pays early game to micro your ore trucks. Sometimes the pathing can be a bit strange on them, and so to increase your income you want to always be telling them to go to mine at the nearest cell with ore in it. So once the second power plant is dropped, we can then afford a further $2,100 worth of infantry. So I'm going for 7 rockets, which is a fairly standard follow-up. This will let me start harassing my opponent's ore fields and killing ore trucks if I wanted to. It will also keep me safe from light tank and APC crushers.
Unit ready. Insufficient funds. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
So once the war factory is dropped, we queue up 2 ore trucks and either a mobile flak or an APC if we're Soviets, or if we're allies, a light tank or a ranger. So with the 7th rocket soldier done, what I like to do is queue up an engineer and then put him on hold, and then we can start our infantry queue. I use a standard 15 rifles to 5 rockets, but if you want to fight your opponent's army a lot more, 20 or 25 rifles to 5 rockets is better. So with the war factory down, we want to then queue up a service depot, power plant, barracks, barracks, power plant, ore refinery, barracks, ore refinery. And this is where our tutorial will end, after I've executed this build. So with the 4th ore truck out and farming, we then can start our army production.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
And with the 5th ore truck out, we can start spamming flame towers or pillboxes.
Unit ready.
You also want to make sure there's not too many ore trucks mining from one patch at any one time. So with the depot down, we want to then queue up 2 MCVs. I personally like going 2 MCVs. It increases your map pressure and increases your build speed. It's also less devastating if your first expansion gets sniped, which can happen sometimes. So now we're just dropping flame towers in our ore patches. In case we get flanked, it will keep our ore trucks alive longer. So as we can see, our first expansion is coming out now, our second MCV. Oh, perfect. So that was unexpected, but as you can see, we handled it okay because we had a flame tower queued up. And so by the time our MCV gets to the objective, the ore refinery is done. We can then also drop a flame tower to protect it, and a barracks for forward production. We then have our second MCV, which I'm choosing to put over here.
Unit ready. Unit ready.
And by the time,
Unit ready.
it also pays to move your ore trucks at this point as well, otherwise you'll find yourself broke.
Unit ready.
So where you go from here is entirely up to you.
Unit ready.
We've got 4 barracks,
Unit ready.
which is really great production,
Ready.
and we could go up to 7 if we wanted for maximum infantry production, or we could go for a radar dome to start a tech rush, but that's entirely dependent on you. As you can see, we've got a very solid opening now. Thank you very much for helping me with this guide and helping me with this video. Hope you found it useful.
Ready.